Hello everyone, welcome to LUKMAAN IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu analysis of 9th November 2020. So let us see which are the important articles in today's The Hindu newspaper. So for mains purpose and for prelims purpose. So first article on page number 8, editorial page. Yes. The context of the article: recently the new president elect in USA and how the foreign policy changes towards India and the other countries as well as the world order will take place. This is what the article is talking about. So let us take input from this article. Earlier also similar kind of opinion based article we have talked about, like the new president in USA and the foreign policy impact on the world and India. So yes, the win is mixed bag for government. We know that recently our Indian government has focused on all the policies which looked at the earlier or the previous what you can say president Mr. Trump would be re-elected. ठीक है, जैसे कि हमने देखा कि 2+2 डायलॉग हुआ है recently. At the same time there were many let's say rallies such as Houston और अहमदाबाद में जो rallies हुई है by the leaders of two countries. So on the other hand, Mr. Biden, a long time supporter of India-US relationship, brings his presidency both the comfort of his understanding of foreign policy and the promise of future strategic ties. However, the article is saying that there are going to have some reverses in let's say Trump era policies. और वो कौन से होंगे? For India, this will be beneficial, like this could include US return to Paris Climate Accord, which would help with the energy transformation. At the same time, return to Iran nuclear deal, let's say negotiations, which will facilitate its regional connectivity ambitions. So he is unlikely to reverse the Afghan pullout and instead might take it more measured exit. On China, he is likely to adopt a less confrontational attitude while maintaining the pushback. Where he will no doubt press a hard nerve is on the issues of human rights, Jammu and Kashmir and Citizenship Amendment Act. Okay, so no sudden moves such as Mr. Trump's withdrawal from India's GSP export status may be expected, and the policy consistency is likely to be preferred to a more personalized summit style. Okay, so in conclusion, India would welcome Mr. Biden's stated intentions to re-energize the multilateral global order and to restore US position in leading not by example of its power but by the power of example. So yes, for India this is the good sign, good news we can say that, and the revival of we can say multilateral world order. Okay, discuss the impact of new president of USA on India's interest and world geopolitics. So such kind of question can be expected in this year mains, क्योंकि अभी immediately mains examination है तो वो हम expect कर सकते हैं. Next, similar kind of question from the polity perspective, but it has a different context, different in a sense that the comparison between the electoral or election commissions of US and India. So there is one topic in GS2 polity section of mains examination, the comparison of constitutions of different countries. So constitutional provisions, and in that we can say that the constitutional bodies like election commission of India, तो वैसे ही वहाँ पे federal election commission है. So how the powers are different in these two within these two bodies. We know that recently there has been criticism on the federal election commission, how it has not been able to, let's say, address the apprehensions in free and fair elections in USA. Okay, comparison between election commissions of India and USA. So yes, in India, our constitutional fathers had debated in Constituent Assembly itself that necessity of imbuing we can say the Election Commission of India with enormous powers. Okay, by virtue of being the constituent of electoral roll, all matters related to keeping roll updated fall under ECI's domain. Indeed, so vast are the powers accorded to ECI during the election process that even higher judiciary does not interfere during the course of election process. So this is the kind of powers given in our constitutional body. However, why this Federal Election Commission of USA almost invisible during this time of president election? The Federal Election Commission has much narrower mandate than its Indian equivalent. Okay. Moreover, the Federal Election Commission was established comparatively recently. It opened its door in 1975 with a special mandate to regulate campaign finance issues. So there is limited mandate and the recent kind of nature of the establishment of this body in USA. So what is the specific mandate? It is related to finance or the campaign finance issue. This is one of the mandate of Indian, let's say, Election Commission of India. Rather, the mandate of Election Commission of India is much wider than this one. Okay, as a watchdog, it is meant to disclose campaign finance information, to enforce law regarding the campaign contributors and oversees public funding of presidential election. This is the mandate. The Federal Election Commission is led by 6 commissioners. 6 posts of the commissioner are supposed to be equally shared by Democrats and Republicans, and 2 have to be confirmed by the Senate. But at the same time, this most critical presidential election, there are some vacancies in this 6 election commission bodies. Okay, तो अभी जो है वो 2 ही election commission थे वहाँ पे. Commission has effectively passed no order in the at all since August 2019 because it has lacked quorum, for which at least 4 members are needed. Okay, so this is what the problems with Federal Election Commission of USA. However, there are some lessons to be learned from the US election system, and that is the ballot system. Okay, India would have to do would do well to take leaf out of US systems book when it comes to postal balloting. Okay, तो वहाँ पे almost 2016 में 1/4 of the votes were done through the postal balloting. In India, we have confined postal balloting only to limited few categories, largely the government staff, that is on the election duty, as well as police and armed forces. So it should be widened due to, let's say, novel coronavirus pandemic. We need to widen this base to include all senior citizens and anyone else who may find it convenient to cast their vote early. Okay, so yes, our election commission and we can say law ministry has issued such kind of notification during pandemic. Those which are having, let's say, age above 65, I guess exactly मुझे अभी याद नहीं आ रहा है, but there are changes in that the nature here, that those aged people which are vulnerable to coronavirus infection, so they have been allowed to vote through postal ballot. Okay, so in conclusion, we can say that though at present the previous president is not or he hesitant to, let's say, back down from the office, what is specific for India is ever since our first election in 1951-52, every single election since, our political parties, losers or winners alike, have invariably accepted the results declared by Election Commission of India, with the results that the baton has passed in the graceful and smooth manner. This is what not happening at present. We can see that from the US election, presidential elections. Okay, so yes, this is what from this article. Take input for our polity purpose. A very good article from environment section. We can say COVID-19, climate and carbon neutrality. So the article is giving relation between COVID-19 and a need to tackle the climate change, how they are related. Yes, so fundamentally the pandemic reflects the fundamental ecological disequilibrium. For that purpose, we need to understand the 3 E's: evolution, ecology and environment. That will be key to identify potential pandemic in the future. Okay, at the same time, there is also now robust scientific evidence to show, for instance, how air pollution exacerbates the impact of COVID-19. The public health science and environmental science are 2 sides of same coins. Such kind of essay topic can be there in our paper mains examination. Public health science and environmental science are 2 sides of same coin. We live in a world where climate change is the reality, and yes, we can understand from that. However, what may be the solution at one point of time but becomes the problem at another, and may even become the threat at different context. So यहाँ पे काफ़ी अच्छा example दिया है, that we know that in the Kyoto Protocol we had accepted to remove the CFCs and which were responsible for ozone depletion. Now these CFCs were later on replaced by the HFCs, hydrofluorocarbons. And later on we came to understand that these HFCs, though we can say that they are not potent ozone depleting substances, however now we understood that they are potent greenhouse gases. Okay, so that's why we are going to replace that also through the Kigali agreement. Okay, so this is the amendment to Kyoto Protocol, Kigali Agreement. We are going to replace HFCs also now. So yes, becoming carbon neutral in September 2018, American state of itself committed. ये जो American state है California. Okay, so it declared to be a carbon neutral by 2045, and it was followed by European Union to be, let's say, carbon neutral by 2050, and recently the China also announced that the goal to be carbon neutrality by 2060. The carbon neutrality for a country means carbon emissions are equal to the absorptions in the carbon sinks, one of which is the forest. Okay, carbon sinks. Other like we can say oceans, land, soil, all these are, we can say, carbon sinks. Yes, so it will involve massive scientific invention and technological innovation, especially when it comes to removing greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. So this is the need of the hour in India. We can understand we cannot stay back in this race to be carbon neutral. We need to also have such kind of aim objective in future. Yes, the post COVID-19 world is opportunity for us to switch gears and make radical departures from the past to make economic growth ecologically sustainable. This is the ideal conclusion we can write in whenever there is conflict between economic growth and development versus environment protection. Yes, GDP growth must without doubt revive and get back to the 7 to 8% growth path. However, in this post COVID-19 world, we should make efforts to ensure that the G in the GDP is not gross but green. Very good statement. We can say that this should be green domestic product, or we can say the gross को हम green करना चाहिए वहाँ पे. So green GDP जो concept है, so that should be mainstreamed here, wherein the impact of all economic let's say activities on environment, or we say resource conservation, that should be included in that growth process. Okay. So yes, essay topics, these two statements, understanding 3 E's, evolution, ecology and environment will be key to identify potential pandemics. Essay 2 topic, public health sciences and environmental sciences are two sides of the same coin. Fine? Okay. Next, for prelims purpose, no relief for Delhi from severe air quality. So yes, this has been in news from time to time, but yes, एक बार हमें cover करना पड़ेगा basics जो है SAFAR और air quality index वो क्या होता है. Okay, so yes, SAFAR, the system of air quality and weather forecasting research. So this system is the national initiative introduced by Ministry of Earth Sciences. ये prelims के लिए important information है सारी. Okay, Ministry of Earth Sciences करता है, Ministry of Environment नहीं. To measure the air quality of metropolitan cities. Okay, only metropolitan cities by measuring overall pollution levels and location specific air quality of cities. Indigenously developed by Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Pune, and is operationalized by IMD. Pollutants monitored are PM 2.5, PM 10, ozone, CO or NOx, SO2, benzene, toluene, xylene and mercury. So these are the pollutants which are monitored under SAFAR. Now what is air quality index? It is tool for effective communication of air quality status to people in terms which are easy to understand. Okay, so it is dissemination to the people in a simple language, the level of, let's say, air quality in the particular area. It transforms complex air quality data of various pollutants into single number, nomenclature and color. There are 6 AQI categories, namely good, satisfactory, moderately polluted, poor, very poor and severe. So this is how they are represented. ये आपको दिख रहा है यहाँ पे colors भी, ठीक है. तो ये range है उनका, ये number दिया रहता है 6 का. Okay. At the same time, which are the we can say pollutants? 8 pollutants के लिए ये evolve हुआ है. PM10, 2.5, NO2, SO2, CO, O3. So this ozone is ground level ozone. Okay. At the same time, ammonia and lead. ये दो अलग है, ये pollutants है, ठीक है. तो ये 8 में ये common जो है वो, these are the 6 pollutants common है, but ये अलग है NH3N. तो इसी पे क्वेश्चन ऐसे बनाया जा सकता है प्रैक्टिस के लिए. कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग पोल्यूटेंट्स. So these are the pollutants. Which of the above pollutant levels are monitored by SUFFER? So from that we have to understand which are these. Benzene, ozone, xylene is there. At the same time mercury is there, CO, carbon monoxide is there. Lead is monitored under AQI. Okay, so इसलिए आंसर जो है वो C होगा इसमें. Fine. So captions and quotations, very good captions from environment related article. So इस पे आपको अगर कोई ऐसे आता है या GS3 में environment section, so in that you can use all these captions and quotations. Okay, yes, so these were important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. For further information regarding ED classes or editorial discussion classes wherein in-depth analysis of mains related articles is done by Ansari Sir and team, you can contact LUKMAAN IAS. Thank you.